We're beginning today's show in Georgia with a 5-star quarterback who's looking to lead his new team to a championship. That's this week's 5-star feature. Sometimes a top prospect will transfer a time or two to make sure he's in the right situation. Dylan Raiola's made a few different stops in his young journey. He spent time in Texas and Arizona his high school career. Before his final prep season, he's playing at Buford High School, which is roughly an hour away from his future home at the University of Georgia.
Yeah, it feels great. It's been a blessing to just come up to this great, historic town, and it's just been very welcoming by the whole community and by the football team.
It's exciting, you know what I mean? You never know, but the big deal around here is we compete and we see who's the best one, and he's fit in real well. When I told him, we come here, we compete for, he's like, yes, sir, that's all I want to do. He's made it the right stuff. I think he fits in really well with our culture and how we do things around here.
I'm playing a lot of receiver this year, for sure. For sure. Dylan's a great person. As soon as he came in here, I felt like he was family already.
I just wanted to get in here with my brother. My brother came with me, and we wanted to just get in here and grind with them and just really mesh with them that way. And it's been nothing but great vibes, and just being around each other has been a blast.
Georgia, Texas, and Arizona have been just a few places football's taken Dylan, though. The story really started back in Detroit. Dylan and his brother Dayton come from a family of athletes. Their mom was a swimmer at the University of Hawaii. Their sister Taylor plays volleyball at TCU. And then, of course, there's their father. Dominic Raiola was an All-American offensive lineman at the University of Nebraska and then spent 14 years in the NFL with the Detroit Lions. As a youngster, Dylan and his brother got to hang out with their dad and learn a little bit about what it's like to be an NFL player.
They were more excited to go to work with me than they were to go to school. It would be like the dog waiting to go outside, at 5 in the morning.
We would be up before my dad just because we were so excited to get into the facility. We'd go out to the field and we would just play the whole day.
And they would come down and hang out with Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford and go on the field, and Matt Prater would teach him how to kick.
He's catching passes from Nate Burleson and Calvin Johnson and, no big deal. It was exciting, to see that for them. And we look back at pictures and we're like, wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. Me and my brother didn't know what we were getting into, but at the same time, we just embraced it. We look back at it now, we were hanging out with Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson super casually, and now we look back at it as a huge blessing.
Although Dylan loved football at a young age, he wasn't always a quarterback. It was actually a former teammate of his father's, John Kitna, who told Dylan he should move to QB. Kitna was coaching high school football in Texas a few years ago when he paid the Raiola family a visit and got to see Dylan throw.
COVID happened, so we were locked up for I think 6 months or whatever it was. And, at our house we had a gym set up, so we were just grinding there. And then Coach Kidna came with his whole family for a 2-week visit, and I was working out with his younger son, throwing the ball around. And Coach Kidna came up to me and told me that you're gonna play quarterback and don't let nobody tell you you're not. So I kind of just took that, rolled with it, and here I am today.
Dylan spent his first 2 high school seasons in Burleson, Texas, playing for Kitna. After a year and a half in Arizona, the whole family is now in Georgia, and Dylan is the number 1 ranked player in the 2024 class. He has prototype size at 6 feet 3 inches tall and 220 pounds, and his arm strength has scouts buzzing.
I think he's a student. I think he's always learning. He's always willing to learn. He's always willing to try something new. I think the student part of it is going to take him such a long way. He's gotten to share the field, working out with Patrick Mahomes and, and different types of quarterback trainers.
Just being a sponge to everybody. My dad said, I got to be able to train with Patrick Mahomes. One thing he told me was just to work on the small things and don't try to take on everything at once. Take it day by day, step by step. But I love being a student of the game. I love the scheme things, understanding defenses, understanding how to beat defenses, understanding where your weakness is in the offense, run checks, all that kind of stuff off the field, just to allow me to go onto the field and play full speed and play at my max potential.
Attitude number 1. Obviously he's not ranked that high and got that much notoriety because he can't play football. He's got a live arm. He can control the huddle. He can do those things. But I'm more impressed with the young man of how he comes into a good program and tries to fit in versus he could have the worst attitude in the world and say, I'm this and I'm that. He hadn't done that. He's tried to connect with his teammates and try to be a great teammate.
Georgia appears to be home for the Raiola family for the next few years. While younger brother Dayton will continue his prep career at Buford, Dylan is looking forward to his time in Athens, where his family will be able to watch him play for the Georgia Bulldogs.
I just knew that Coach Smart was real from the beginning, from when he offered me, my freshman year. And you just look at his program, just tremendous leadership, and it just trickles down through his whole coaching staff. I'm excited. Got a great class coming in, and we're going to keep doing what Coach Smart has established in Athens, Georgia.
Long term, Dylan, of course, has his eyes on reaching the highest level.
I wouldn't say mean everything, because I know there's more to life than just football, but it means pretty close to everything. Been training since I was young, chasing that dream of mine to go play in the NFL and play with so many great players, follow the footsteps of the Hall of Famers that left their mark in the NFL.
Among the footsteps he'd be following, of course, are those of his father. And having someone in his own home who has spent more than a decade in the league serves as both motivation and a resource for Dylan.
I'm very fortunate to have him in the house. People say that they don't know everything, but I think my dad knows pretty much close to everything. He's seen it all. He's done it all. So just to have him pouring into me every day, it's a true blessing.
We're excited that we raised a good young man that if you're a good person, you're a good son, you're a good brother, you're a good teammate, and all of those things matter. I don't like to put ceilings on what our kids can do. We want to have them shoot for the sky and go chase that.
Thanks for checking out Sports Stars of Tomorrow on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, and please subscribe to our channel so you see all of the latest content.